Vedrò con mio diletto alma dell'alma mia.
Law, qua, law, hypervisibilized, shiningly omnipresent, photogenically central, iridescently dominant. Law, qua, law, an explosion of packaging, a selfie thirsty for your likes. Welcome to the real law. Welcome to hashtag jurisprudence. Welcome to your new favorite Narcissus. You know it, because my Instagram account is a tabloid darling, graduated in the Twitter school of Trump and Elon Musk. My posts are great polarizers, bigger and brasher trivia treasures of facile emotions, and here you are, all my followers. You will never stop following me, liking my posts, feeding my rather benevolent narcissism, filling up that great reservoir, trying to understand me, figure me out, because you also play my game, the game of law. You're part of this vast institutional affect that I am. You are complicit with my emergence. You are complicit with my self-legitimation. You facilitate my self-cathexis. You cheer my self-absorbing withdrawal. You add adoring comments whenever I show you my amoeba-like body. And, wait for this, you know I'm legitimate. Because I pose as the one and only law. You know, the one with the little blue tick of authenticity next to my name, the real law. It's only $8 a month. Press like. Add a heart if you truly believe.
Vedrò con mio diletto, alma dell'alma mia. Jakob Josef Orlinsky sings, I will see with my beloved, soul of my own soul. Law as Edenic garden. Come.
You are walking in a familiar urban
Feel
environment,
enclosed.
yet something is different.
Adore it. Come with me into that little moment of law.
You are walking in a familiar urban environment, yet something is different. You're surrounded by constantly flashing words, numbers, whole paragraphs that float about, almost obscuring your view. These writings are next to each object: human body, animal on the street, bench, shop window, plant pot, cafe table. You go a bit closer. You see that each one of these signs contains a law or a norm that determines your movement and the movement of others around you. Endless lists of property laws, planning laws, contact laws, criminal laws, commercial laws, environmental laws. Look at the bodies around you. They all look like flagpoles bending under the weight of strips of text fluttering about them. Each strip a declaration of a legal right, the right to life and property, non-discrimination, dignity. Please go all intersectional. Add multiple strips for all the legal causes that need protecting. Carry on walking in that legal landscape. See how you feel. Is it liberating or claustrophobic? Is it easy to navigate or causes you trouble? You might feel a comforting certainty in where you go, each step sanctioned by a law that clearly states what you must do. Or you might feel that the law is a little too much, that you need a space where the world can shine through, free from the obsessive textuality of the law.
Law as enclosure. Follow my command. You feel immediately safe. You feel somehow involved in everything I have to offer you. This beautiful sentential universality. This exceptional prepositional objectivity. I'm here, decontextualized, abstract, for everyone. Take a breath. I mean, what is my body, if not a body of law? Legal corpus. The long arm of law. Justice. Blindfolded. I can tell you the truth. Corporate law. Law is all there is. But not as we know it. We used to have this quest for definitions. In modernity, let's say, what is law? What is justice? What is outside the law? How do you make the law socially responsible? and responsive. Now, things have changed. Now it's all about staging the law. It's all about realizing that the law needs to present itself in an acceptable way, package itself in a consumer-pleasing way. The big aesthetic question for the law right now is, how is the law going to prove to every one of you the law is the law? If in late modernity law's societal value was progressively replaced by its commodity value, this same commodity value is now replaced by law's staging value. Law stages itself to become attractive, desirable, and ultimately the real law. You know, the one with the blue tick. Sourcing its value from media, both traditional and social, because it's not enough for law to say that it is law. Law has to show itself as law and must communicate to the world that itself and none other is the law. It needs to become hyper-visibilized. Is this my good profile? Yes. All right, do I have to start again, or? It needs to become hyper-visibilized. Its body stretching everywhere, sinewy, strong, solid. It must stage itself in a consumer-oriented way, to market itself in a socially engaging way, and to package itself in a media-appetizing way. Law has always been a performance. But here, now, performance is all there is. It's going through a spectacular intensification. Social media-based, hypersensitive to social pressures, confusing the myth of universality with that of popular acceptance. It's all about technology, of course. Law has become a service product given to entrepreneurship and innovation, computerized and binarized, standardized rather than particular. Law staging bleeds into pedagogy. It becomes a mechanical degree with luminous career prospects at the expense of open thought. Interdisciplinarity, risk-taking, critique.
Sorry.
What? You're cutting my... What? You see, I'm completely thrown now. Law's body is luminous. I don't feel that. Luminous, narcissistic, self-admiring, self-legitimizing.
Now, no longer flashing statutes, codes, norms, reminders. Now, fill the material bodies around you, human and non-human, walls, pavements, seats, doors, windows, friends, family, pets, pests, everybody with law. Bloat them up, stuff them with rights and obligations, limits and permissions. Law is now guiding you in everything you do. So not just where you move and where you pause, but also where your head turns, what you see, what you touch, what you smell, even. Now, the passages are even narrower than when the texts were around. The directions are clearer, not because you read about them and understood them rationally, but because you are not given any choice. Streets and pavements rush in one direction at a time like escalators. Doors open only when you're allowed in or when your wallet can afford the establishment behind the door. Otherwise, they remain shut. The walls stop you from even walking into places you would ordinarily be able to. High walls prohibit you from looking in. Cinema seats collapse at the end of the film. Trains spit you out when your ticket expires. You are still certain about what the law allows you to do, where and when. You do not always know why. You cannot pinpoint the legal source. A slight haze and the occasional questioning are compensated by permission to walk around unthinkingly, simply following the legal lines already carved between objects. You are a body, moving in a unidirectional corridor of comfort. Safety becomes a blanket, comforting, yet potentially suffocating.
mediates between us and whatever else, but itself becomes this whatever else. Ontologically, a body beyond direct human control. By staging itself, law meddles not just with a phenomenological mediation between subjects and world, but with the very ontology of the world and the taken for granted category of subjects. Law, staging itself, means that the world becomes absorbed in law's representation of the world. The only possible world is the one offered by the staged law. This is an intervention on the level of ontology. By staging itself, law alters not just law itself, but the world. In fact, the world is just law's representation. And because law is no longer thought a priori, but only situational, which is good, it's good, it's good. It can import nothing if it supposed ideals of equity, fairness, and justice into that staging. And thus, of course, this is what is needed, and usually what is needed is a little contract and, contractual freedom. I love this shit. And usually we do it. We do it very well. We're very just and equitable, and we try our hardest. But, cameras. Law staging is the law. Law is nothing but the enunciation of its mode of enunciation. There is no other law behind this stage, no better or grander, more universal, more reliable. This is all we have. There's nothing behind the stage that will make us believe that we can rely on it, that something is solid, that is in touch with its social representation, even social function, that has something to do with the things we expect it to do. The stage is all there is. A scraggy immanence, brittle and unhinged, unable to maintain even the illusion of transcendence, even the illusion of a better law elsewhere. Pause. I can see me. I can't see me. Hello. Like me. Like me. Like me. Like me. Like me? Like me. Why? Like me. Why? Like me. 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 Like me, 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 me, like 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 me. Like me. Oh, I look good. Like me. Like me. Like me. Like me. like me, like me, like me, like me, like me, like me. Like me, like me, like me, like me, like me, like me. Like me, like me, like me. Where is she? Like me.
Okay.
Jesus. Jesus. Like what? Oh, fuck. No. The best law, the best way for law to become successfully staged is by ascribing itself in matter in body, space, as water, turning itself into an affect. This is, of course, not limited to the law. All disciplines become affect. All disciplines, all practices are learning how to ride this wave of affect. This is good, this is bad. It's a dispositif. It doesn't mean anything. We come closer. Law becomes our BFF, our best friends forever, or, or best British friend, or whatever. But it's about intimacy, but also it's about control. It's about senses, and it's about emotions. The law becomes this little affective little tool, this thing to bring about personal and even social change. We put it in our pocket. It kind of carries with us everywhere, but it's also the friend who ghosts us, vanishing just when we were getting it touched. Welcome to the real law. The real law is an atmosphere. It does surround us. It is in us. It passes through us. It's always at hand. It touches our skin. Legal atmospheric engineering bypasses consciousness, immobilizing the full sensorium and its connection to the emotional. The real law reaches the point of synesthetic disorientation. We are pliable. Oh. Yeah, okay. I'll do something cool now. Yeah. I mean, right, sound? And you were here too, lovely. Thank you. Thank you for being here, my friends. I have lots of friends, they'll see it. Yeah. A little bit of thirst traps. Okay, that's done. Now on with this lecture. So, the real law engineers an atmosphere of contractual freedom. In it, bodies fail to see imbalances of power, blinded by the apparent fairness and equality of opportunity. This atmosphere is individualistic and neoliberal par excellence, yet collectively engineered. We are all complicit. It feeds illusionary notions of achieving personal freedom through mortgages, promotions, new gadgets, trendier trainers. This is pure surplus consumption, of course, seldom referred to as luxury as extravagance, because it's no longer bound up with certain privileges or limited to certain classes, but taken for granted as a universally aspired standard of living. In generating and acting through an atmosphere, law matches the expectations of a consumerist society while continuing to nurture these expectations. So the more, the same is needed. And atmosphere generates a cycle of addiction, where once the supposed desires are converted into real needs, more of the same is offered continuously and in excess. Now, forgive me. I've prepared something I need to. Yeah. Cool. Oh, yeah. No, I have something better. Who's that? Where is this? Here. Look. A child. Oh, you can't hear the beautiful things I say. I talk about self-care and how important it is to take good care of oneself. So let me, all these things. What else? Tell me. We need more. I'm running out. I'll just say, I'll just say Keynote. So, Keynote, do we like that? So, they're going to get a bit confused. Keynote, that's cool. Yeah, we like. Okay, here. Cover up that. Go, perfect. Not now, of course. La. Has it been? 99% is getting there, getting there. Lovely, thank you. So what? What did you think? I have a reputation to uphold. No, sorry. You're lovely, but no. Yeah, that's the one. So, atmospheres emerge, I guess, at moments where we're all there when they emerge. We're fully there. We have our bodies there, we have our minds there, we have our senses, our affects. And they create these little enclosures. These enclosures are very important for us. We feel safe. I mean, why wouldn't you want an atmosphere? Why wouldn't you want a little safety blanket around you? Why wouldn't you lock your door at night? This is all atmosphere. You're doing this. At the same time, we create a little permanence, a little fixity. So, atmospheres block our view of the world, create little gated communities, created Fortress Europe, create these heavens where we feel that we always belong. Also the temporal thing. The temporal is very important. The temporal thing is very important because they create this present. They take this present and they move the present into the future. The present remains always present. It's projected as the only thing that exists. In fact, the only thing that you need. We're in a lovely atmosphere. There's nothing outside. You have no access to it. Maybe a little bit of access. Maybe something a bit annoying is coming through. Just to confirm the fact that it's so cozy in here. We are hydraulic. Atmospherics relies on the desire of the participating bodies to preserve the atmospheric status quo. These bodies control each other and themselves, even in the absence of a top-down state law. Individual self-policing vies with collective behavioral pressures to fit in, and the fundamental desire to belong becomes exploited. An atmosphere feels like the city of God, where justice reigns supreme, and everyone has found wants just emplacement. Everyone sings. There's no reason to move. But this is exactly the feeling of frozen atmosphere, where bodies are paralyzed in an all-embracing, fake belonging. This is the most important movement of legal aesthetics. Law dissimulating as non-law, withdrawing anomically there, becoming atmosphere. Law stages itself to its total annihilation. In order to be appealing, law has to vanish, to become thin air, atmospheric. A little comfort, a little righteousness, a little common sense. At the cost, perhaps, of real planetary justice. But that's okay, because withdrawal for law is the ultimate capitalist aesthetics.
And now, allow all objects and bodies to return to their regular size, slimline, lawless presences of pure materiality. Only one thing, allow your body to swell up with law. Concentrate all the law into your body. Pump it up with a juridical solidity. Dress it in jurisdictional certainty. Wrap it in rhetorical flourishes. Inject subcutaneously in it the stock of legal knowledge. Feel your bloodstream getting warmer with law. Speak fluent legalese. Slowly but surely allow yourself to become the law. You feel law, eat law, sweat law, defecate law. Your body is the law, and the law is your body. Your radiance is infinite, your certainty blinding, your step as cosmic as the globe, as vast as history. Your movements are now determined solely by you. You are the law. The world becomes your playground. It moves alongside you, attuned to your every thought and gesture. Everything is up for grabs. Everything is available to you. You finally truly belong. The atmosphere is luminous, rarefied, welcoming yet bracing. Your breath, one with the world's. Your inside extends infinitely towards your outside. This is an eternal present, comfortable yet full of truth. How wonderful it must be to feel that total freedom, the absolute roaming of the monarch, the colonizing spread of the powerful. The territory belongs to you, and you belong to the territory. You catch a glimpse of your strapping body on a mirror. Proud, erect, stalwart, you pause briefly to fix a lock on your hair. After all, the law must also look good. You try your most radiant smile, but something is bothering you. You are having a moment of dissociation. Is that you in the mirror? Is this someone else? Who is the real you here?